Good evening, wonderful humans, well, and some other people, but lovely to see you. I think I have a very inclusive audience. I'm going to start this fabulous evening of music, poetry, and comedy with a thought. And it's a thought that I have because I like to think about bigger things in life. And I have developed a theory. We have two types of people in the world. The mentally ill and those awaiting diagnosis. And this is tonight a celebration of all these wonderful, crazy, fantastic, slightly nutty people, such as myself. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm going to be talking all about my neurosis, but please relax. I'm a psychotic. Now at this point, usually I'd be interrupted. Fantastic. And usually I would be interrupted by my co-founder, Derick Collins, who helped find the Lithium Laughter Show. He was a man who was a poet, he was a wordsmith, and he was possibly the most belligerent person I have ever met in my entire life. And tonight is a very special night because it is in memory of a very good friend, but also the co-founder of the Lithium Laughter Show. What is the Lithium Laughter Show, I hear you say? The Lithium Laughter Show is a show that is for performers and writers who have experienced mental health issues, and it aims to challenge people's perception around how people see mental health, challenge stereotypes, hopefully also to entertain and amuse. And we're going to start tonight with a poem that was read at Derick's memorial, and it was one of Derick's favourite poems. And it's going to be read by a friend of his, Jennifer.
This poem is called Dust If You Must by Rose Milligan, and it sums up Derick to a T. Dust if you must, but wouldn't it be better to paint a picture or write a letter, bake a cake or plant a seed? Ponder the difference between want and need. Dust if you must, but there's not much time, with rivers to swim and mountains to climb, music to hear and books to read, friends to cherish and a life to lead. Dust if you must, but the world's out there, with the sun in your eyes and the wind in your hair, a flutter of snow, a shower of rain, this day will never come round again. Dust if you must, but bear in mind, old age will come and it's not kind. And when you go, and go you must, you yourself will make more dust.
Thank you, Jenny. Mental health discrimination can take many, many forms. Sometimes it's conspicuous, sometimes it's out in the open, sometimes it's a bit more covert. And the next sketch, it's called Liverpool, but actually it could be anywhere. So I'm going to introduce Sally and Loretta for Liverpool.
Please take a seat, Miss Cockrell.
What dog?
That kind of attitude that you got you here in the first place.
I thought everything was alright. My boss said I was doing fine. I don't quite understand what was happening.
You are in very deep trouble. It has come to our attention, and I don't want to be indelicate about this, but you are from the north.
What's the beef with that?
Yet you failed to mention it in either your application or in your interview.
But I would have thought it were blatantly obvious from the accent that I was from up north.
I understand that for you it might be difficult. But this is a diversity company. Some of my best friends are, I think I can use the word, Liverpudlian. But as head of HR, I needed to know this.
But why?
Hipster Organic Garden Products is a cutthroat, high-pressured business.
Cutthroat? What a load of all our shit manure.
We produce the finest fertiliser in the business.
Sorry, Peg. I didn't mean any old horse manure. I meant hipsters' organic horse manure.
The thing is that with your condition, you might find it a bit difficult to cope. We only employ people who are at the top of their game.
What about Justin Twattleface and what he did with the solar-powered edge trimmer?
No real harm done. He's a bullying dog boy.
No harm. I think his wife will have something to say about that, especially at night time.
His wife didn't notice the difference. The point is that with your condition, you might be tempted at some point to go back up north.
Because my family are up there.
Can I ask, how many times have you been up north in the last 18 months?
Well, I go every December. You know, for Christmas to see fall. I mean, as we northerners say, winter's coming.
It's a difficult time, and I know there's a lot of relapse. You know, once I nearly went to Birmingham.
Slow down, lass, slow down. One trip to Birmingham don't make you no northerner. It's just like saying I'm a Londoner because I live here for the best part of the year.
Don't you worry. We can get you away from those nasty northern routes into recovery.
For what recovery?
Please, just calm down.
I'm not calm.
We love northerners. They're so fabulous. There's some wonderful ones in the light entertainment. Take Anton Dare. Nobody understands the word they're saying, but they do very well for themselves. Would you like to go to our Christmas panto?
What? How dare you talk to me like that?
No. I think you'll find it. How dare you? We can get you some lovely elocution lessons. Or maybe there's a whippet fancy as sport group.
Listen, cock, I don't need no elocution lessons, alright? And I don't need no support. But I'll tell you something. You need some support to sort that clothes out and that hair. You got me? Elocution lessons. Who do you think you are? Bloody cheek.
No.
The problem with diversity training, the northerners just don't get it. Culture now. And I'm going to introduce to you Tim.
This song, it's my personal favourite of the lyrics that Derick wrote. looked into his eyes as he turned towards the mirror. He couldn't clearly hide it as the pain was getting clearer. As she turned to shut him out, he had another situation. He said something in a murmur, then went off towards the station. And I tried hard not to listen, but I'm sure I heard him say, I thought it was more than a schoolboy dream. The trick of the sun on a silver screen. I thought it was more than a wish from a well. I'll be walking beside you today. He went from town to city in some desperate search for freedom, and he sang his song for ladies who would never really need him. Their eyes would always draw him on like stormlights in a harbor, and he'd always come down crying on some dusty sidewalk later. And if they ever stopped to listen, well, I know they'd hear him say, if I thought it was more than a schoolboy dream, the trick of the sun on a silver screen. If I thought it was more than a wish from a well, I'd be walking beside you today. The highway twists and wanders like some Eden-seeking serpent. The night comes down to drown him in its all-concealing curtain. Once again he's drawn to another world of vision. A murder on a hilltop and some distant sense of mission. And talking in his sleep, the lady thought she heard him say, if I thought it was more than a schoolboy dream, trick of the sun on a silver screen. If I thought it was more than a wish from a well, I'd be walking beside you today.
Thank you very much. And now changing the tone again, we have a wonderful young poet and more.
So, this first poem is called Second Class. The forest overlooks the riverside, overlooks the pain inside. The branches hold strong, holding strong opinions wrong. The voices of her hopeless trail of weep and wail. Thick leaves blockade the sun of change. What sun of change? Dawn has no range. The silence louder than a million beating drums beating for the precious grace-filled ones. Cries muffled by fear of the treacherous loathing brought on by the forest deer. She's outnumbered by that bark, the grotesque and silently accepting bark. Worse than any bite, it goes dark, that she's ripped apart. Yet the forest knowingly stands by tradition and faith, that she can barely take breath without inhaling. Bruised body, confused mind, confused and can't find the claws, proving this immortal pain unkind. Human hands forcing hands to tremble as he justifies, almost enjoys her crumble. The trees must speak the eternal truth, empty souls wandering, the soil of eternal youth. Scream with me, fair brothers minor, shout among the bitter men, for they are humanity's miser. Sisters too must not let sisters continue to struggle to be, for she too is being human, a human being among the forest free. And this is called Bella Fortuna. Slowly shaking off the withered, after a journey oh so long, faithful understanding of lessons, thrusting experience into song. Body healing, this lost grace, returns to the bow, sinking less, float this current, even crave it now. Last night's sweetened melodies, left parted lips, freedom from aching bones, dawned with tales of stories from abandoned ships. Crossing waters, take this mind's eye as a soft and guiding oar. Fortune glides with her ease and strength. Hear her gentle distance cool once more. Laugh it off and charm it out. Injured spirits wait with doubt. And on by the fire a light inside, Fortune sends her power. On call we glide.
Mentioned about possible mental health discrimination, and I think Sally has now got a possible way of dealing with unemployment. It's Loretta, my apologies. It's Loretta. Oh, right. Written by Sally. I knew Sally came into it somewhere.
Do you want to come? Yeah. Okay. I think it's the first time that we've ever had everyone in by 12 p.m. Actually, I think it's the first time this year that we haven't had transport issues, sickness, childcare issues, no one's boiler's broken down. Oh, and Kathy, you haven't had another goldfish die on you. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the buffet, because the company do know how to give a good send-off. Yes. So, you all know why you're here today? No? Well, you should have read your emails. Do you think I like doing emails all night that no one's going to read? No, I don't. But the CEO, he said to me, Janet, you see, he probably got me first. He said, Janet, I want you, that would be me, to sort out those lazy, work-shy, skiving individuals who are giving the company a bad name. So I was like, yes, sir, of course, I'll be delighted to, because after all, my loyalty to the company is unbreakable. I see you there, Mr. Likely rolling your eyes. Got one word to say to you. That's right, that'll be the last time that you will use a company photocopier to show off your new piercings. Anyway, you are all on level 4 PAS, and at the company, we can't have that. Mrs. Finch, there's no point in asking Brian what PAS stands for. He doesn't even know what sexy is. I mean, had you read your email, then you would have known this. Okay, for the purpose of those and Mrs. Finch that didn't bother to read their emails, PAS stands for persistent, absentee, or sickness. Starting to see some red faces now. Well, that won't last. No, Carol, you can't open the windows. They're now shut. Yes, I know it's stuffy, but it won't pass. Maybe the red faces are from the party that you had, Carol, that some people were invited to. Oh, everyone was invited. Everyone. Everyone but me. Never mind. Now's not the time to hold grudges. No, it's fine. I just wanted to say that the company has been very good to us over the years. It's given us basic amenities. I mean, take Brian here, for example. he wants to be a woman, and the company has allowed him to experience that. You know, he's been ignored, he's been treated like a sex object, right? Yeah, and he's done twice the work for half the pay. But you're still moaning. I thought you wanted to be a woman, my dear. Carol, leave that door. It's not going to budge. Now come and sit down and just keep on breathing. Okay, right. Times are hard, and the company has to get rid of some staff. The bad news is that it can't offer redundancies. So that's why we're locked in here. However, the good news is you don't have to worry about your pensions being worthless when you get to retirement age. Gillian, are you starting to feel a bit sick? Maybe you shouldn't have had so much of a buffet. Can I just offer one more piece of advice? Just to focus on your inhalation. And I just want to close by saying that it has been an absolute pleasure and honour for me to have worked for the company. And it is with absolute great gratitude and delight that I'm able to give the company my last breath. So, thank you and good night.
I'm really honoured to have the next person reading here tonight because Susanna was here in one of her really early Lithium Laughter shows. At the time, she was unmarried and she had the nerve to leave not only us, but leave the city. How could you do that? Find a wonderful husband and be happy. That's not what we ever had to do. Just welcome, Susanna.
The poem of Derick's that I'd like to read this evening is called John 9:5. This is a short verse in the Bible, the words of Jesus, and it reads, "As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world." John 9:5. Let there be light, you say, and a whole universe of it, big bangs into existence. Supernovae cartwheel through space. Fireworks splash colour on the sky. A world awash with dazzling flame. I turn away, blinded, deafened and bemused. Stars bursting on my retina. Through the darkness, slowly, like waking, I begin to see the dawn of quiet wonder. And one more poem, one of my own this time, and this is a pantoum, what I wrote in response. Well, don't read. In response to reading Derick's poems recently, and in remembering our time in Lithium Laughter 5 years ago, including the performance here, the poem doesn't have a proper title, although it was called Shooting Star. Unfortunately, my husband pointed out that a shooting star is not a star at all, but a meteor. And this unfortunately completely ruined the whole pantoum thing. As you may know, a pantoum is based on sort of repetition of lines, so I had to make some adjustments, which I'm sure you'll spot. Anyway, the poem is now called Pantoum for Derick. It's strange reading this on this old night, as memories flounce down the winding stair, in shadows cast by a burnt-out light, lingering on in a star somewhere. As memories flounce down the winding stair, hastening a heartbeat, creasing a face, lingering on a meteor somewhere, with a flailing silver coat tail, then no trace. Hastening a heartbeat, creasing a face, a poet walks by in his very best shoes, with a flailing silver coat tail, then no trace. Can I hear an angel singing the blues? A poet walks by in his very best shoes, in shadows cast by a burnt-out light. Is that a silver angel singing the blues? It's strange asking this on this old
You know, it's sort of assumed that when you're in the position I'm in now of doing a bit of master of the ceremony and a bit of introduction, that you have some idea of what's going to happen. It's not the case now. That's the wonder of improv. That I don't think even the performers, even the performers don't know what's going to happen. But it's going to be an improvisation called BT Phone Home with Rebecca and Sally.
So, it's going to be, the good news is it's going to be 5 minutes, and we know that it's going to be 5 minutes.
Because the iPhone says so.
The iPhone says so. So the bad news is...
You've got 5 minutes.
You've got 5 minutes. So firstly, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sally.
I'm Vex, and
We are...
BT phone. I've got to do this because she gets it right every time. BT phone home.
I keep saying BT go home, which sounds a little bit Britain first, doesn't it? It's like, go home, BT, go home. That's not the idea at all. What does that stand for? Well, we are half of a rainbow, possibly the forgotten half of the rainbow. L, G, D, and go down and lie in a ditch, T.
Nice.
Which is kind of how funding streams does tend to happen.
But it's all fine now.
It's all
Because
fine.
trans is in the mainstream. Have you
It
known
is.
that?
Tell
Well,
me about what that is.
Well, let's face it, EastEnders has got a character who cross-dresses, which Eamon Holmes said looks like his wife Ruth. That's nice. I bet that would have been a nice evening.
Or maybe not. Maybe he's trying to say something.
No, it's maybe Eamon. Anyway, stop. Litigation. And then, of course, we have the trans comedy, Boy Meets Girl, which says that if you transition, you've got to hang out with a loose woman. Is that right, Denise Walsh?
Oh, that's fabulous. And I quite like the fact that in that... Did anybody see Boy Meets Girl? Yeah?
Well, there's a couple of nods.
Not a couple of nods. What did you think about the characters? Did you think, yeah, interesting character? Lots of different aspects to her life? Lots of darkness, lots of interesting? No. Or did you think, what is her only point? She's trans.
Oh, I'm sorry, so it was the size 10 feet. I punched someone at a bowling alley pretty well.
Pretty well. Well,
that
of
was it. That's all I got from it.
That's what trans people do. Have you ever?
What, punched the bit of the bowling alley? Not recently.
No. That's before transition, not after. After, no punching.
Oh no, it's the whole, yeah, the
Yes.
hormones settle you down, it's fine.
Now you just kind of knit.
Do I?
Yeah, it's my fantasy.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's the same in the bike community. I mean, you're getting some press now, right?
We are getting some press. We started off, I don't know if anyone heard about, I know it looks like a very sporting crowd. And there's a boxer, light heavyweight. I presume that means they're quite a little bit on the tubby side, but not too much. And the light heavyweight boxer confessed that when he was younger, he did some porn, but it was just for money. But it was straight porn because it's a red bloody man. Anyway, his friends happened to see some tapes which were definitely gay porn. And he said, no, that wasn't me. It's someone who looks really like me, but it's not me. Then they proved that it was him. And he went, yeah, it was me. What happened was I had a cup of tea and I passed out, and then suddenly I realised that I was having sex with a man. But I'm straight. Then strong stuff, that's it. Don't have any tea upstairs. You never know what happens. Well, some of you might. But then the company that does erotica quite rightly said, you're saying we've committed rape.
Oh.
What a way to start. On that one, we can say that he actually then had to say, no, actually I knew what I was doing, and I'm proud to be bisexual.
Good for us.
Well, now it's time for an interval. So you can go upstairs, get some drink. I would say
Not tea.
Not tea. Oh, and remind people to pay. You can get food, apparently, although it's not real food, is it? Because it's a vegetarian cafe.
You have to do it. It's not real food. If you haven't already paid, our lovely person will come and see you.
No, wait, apparently it's not a show that never ends. Apparently we've just got the second half to go. But it's a wonderful second half. It's all better because I'm not performing. Oh, no, come on, what's the stupid earpiece know about it anyway? It is a wonderful second half. And we're going to kick it off with Sally telling us about the wonderful work that the Blue Kitten Society does.
Ladies, gentlemen, as acting Chief Exec of the Blue Kitten Society, I just wanted to thank you for attending our annual dinner. I know some people have heard the very nasty rumours, but let me assure you that the Blue Kitten Society continues to deliver quality work, moving people away from mental health recovery and into enterprise. I'd like at this point to thank the caterers. Perhaps on reflection, a cold meat buffet wasn't ideal. Let me just assure you, all the meat was in fact animal. No, not kitten. We don't eat kittens now, do we? No. It was beef, lamb, pork, you know, that kind of thing. Please don't let that kind of thing ruin your appetite. It's been a real mixed year for the Blue Kitten Society. At the start of the year, we were really... However, I know some people read newspapers about former Chief Exec. No, I know exactly where he is. He's in South America. No, and I assure you, once he has had a little rest, he's going to come back, have a little chat with the police, and all that difficulty will be resolved. But I just want to say that the former Chief Exec, whatever you may think of those nasty rumours, he is a genius. With nothing more than rather a large trust fund, some blue paint, and a kitten. He transformed the Mental Health Society. And who thought that painting kittens blue and giving them to schizophrenics would cause such a fuss? But that was the genius of our former chief exec. He said 1 in 4 people have a mental health problem, and 1 in 4 people own a cat. So if you can have a pet cat, why not have your allergic? Well, this is even better. Because humans, they don't have fur unless you want it, and they don't need a litter tray. No. The Blue Kitten Society has made mental health sexy. Bipolar is the disease of the avant-garde. Schizophrenia is chic. Even personality disorders have got frisson of excitement. What we do is so unique at the Blue Kitten Society is that we don't go round using all this politically correct labelling. No, it's clean-cut brands. Mad or Lukey. No, I assure you, the brand doesn't hurt for very long. And all our mentally ill are Atos approved and can be delivered to your doorstep. No, not like pizza. I think any analogy with food is not appropriate right now. And let me just reassure you, I can absolutely assure that all those people died of natural causes. And once the paperwork is in place, we can prove that their bodies were disposed of appropriately. But let's go on to the positive things about the Blue Kitten Society. Before the Blue Kitten Society, mental health was all about cure, recovery, get better, get well. But we say, no, embrace your madness. We can use this. OCD, really good at repetitive motions. I know you'd like some of that, sir. Bipolar, they're so creative. On the dance poles. Yes. Now I know what you're thinking. What about the ugly ones? Well, we have some lovely organic paper bags, hand signed. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're mentally ill, we've got a place for you. It's all about using the resources you've got. Exploitation is there for us all. So, with that in mind, let us go through this year taking over the National Health Service bit by bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Change of mood now as we go back to some more poetry, this time by Matthew Stradling.
So, today I realised that I've known Sally for 28 years.
Yay! When you get 15th
I
birthday.
met her when she was 3. And I think in that period I realised that I do suffer from depression, and so I've been on medication for many years, and I realised, well, recently I thought I felt a bit happier, so I thought I would like kind of get off the medication, which I did a few months ago, until last week when I just kind of realised like I had a big slump and like ended up in a big dark hole. And I think many people experience that big dark hole. So the first poem I'm reading, which I wrote, is about that big dark hole, and it's called Isolation. So this is the dark part of the evening, okay? Isolation. And it's the deepest place I have ever been. I could have laid there forever, not knowing that I had died. And it's the darkest place I have ever been. So slow the mind, I couldn't tell whether the feelings passing through were mine or the echoes of someone else's thoughts. And it's the saddest place I have ever been. The gravity of mourning weighing down the limbs pressed to the ground. And if the body could have moved, mine surely had lost the will. And there's a ghost there, my only companion, and it haunts me, even though I know it's not really there. And the ghost there is called isolation. And the ghost won't leave me, it occupies my bones. And that in that deepest, darkest, saddest place, there is a hole into which I shall climb. And I shall lay myself down there. And I know that no one will ever find me. So in terms of depression, I do think it is an inherited condition. So I do look at my family and I feel that like everyone seems to be suffering from depression, but very few actually acknowledge it. But my grandparents actually 50 years ago on Monday had a suicide pact and they killed themselves, both my mother's parents. So this is a tribute to them for their anniversary on Monday, and it's called The Suicide. The Suicide. I have killed myself. I sit here in the spectral twilight. The slow shadows move from moon to sunlight. The wires of the piano beside me seem to vibrate to a melody that my fingers once played. My eyes are fixed on the condensation-stained windows. Grey-purple turns to orange. A dog barks far off in the fog. All is quiet now. I am cold. My wife lies colder still on the bed in the room behind me. The veils have fallen in her eyes. I cannot turn myself to see her withered face, nor her hand which seems to point to the empty gin bottle which has come to rest in the folds of the dusky pink eiderdown now on the floor. A clock ticks. The urn on the mantelpiece is not yet filled. I have killed myself. And I sit in a cold room, and no breath of anticipation escapes my lips. I have killed myself, and I wait to be discovered. I shall not hear the neighbour as she bangs on the door and shouts my name. I shall not smell the gas when the door is opened, as it seeps out to drown the house in a bluish, toxic pall. I will not be able to respond as my daughter rants at me, so many questions left unanswered. I will not be able to feel her hot hand as it recoils from mine, so cold. And when my elder daughter arrives, I shall be unable to see the wide-eyed grandson in her arms as she falls fainting to the floor. I have done what I had to do. I have killed myself. I have killed myself because I do not wish to see the future. I have killed myself because I wish to escape myself. I have killed myself because I am tired of the battle to stay alive. And who can blame me for what I have done? And who can forgive me for what I have done? I will no longer have to judge nor justify. I have gone. That is it. And that is my final comment, my summation, my full stop. The last veil lifts from my eyes, and the ticking of the clock gently halts and echoes down the ears. The silence is warm, and the light clears away. We cast our glances up to the stars. I hold your hand, and we walk out into the soft, dark night.
Thank you, Matthew. We're going to stay in a serious mood, and we're going to stay with poetry. This is a poem by Lenka with musical accompaniment by Jeremy. Lenka, would you want to introduce it yourself and tell us what it's about? Because I understand that this is in Czech, not in English. So Lenka's the only person, I think. Certainly I can't explain it.
Good evening. I would like to first thank to Sally that she gave me space here, and my other Sally who could come tonight, and Jeremy for the guitar. I just want to mention a few things before I start. That I had opportunity to meet Derick and work with him on a project with Sally, and it was a pleasure to work with him. This poem is actually connected with losses. It's written in Czech as it is my native language, and as I've never done anything like this before in memorial, it is to honor my relationship with my brother. And I would just give you a shortcut in English. There are 3 words that could say the main feel of the poem: melancholy, hope, and light. So enjoy. Toto nejsou slova na rozloučenou. Vzpomínky na tebe neopouští mé srdce. Procházím se v husté mlze. Cítím kameny dotýkající se mých nohou. Slyším vlastní kroky, odrážející se v tichu nekonečno. Dýchám a ostrost chladného vzduchu mi proniká až do plic. Jdu dál, prodírám se v mlze a její vlhkosti. Čas a prostor jakoby neexistuje. Jak nastupuji dál, začíná se mi rýsovat obrys mohutného stromu. Čím víc se přibližuji, tím jasnější je mi obrys kůry, její barva a vůně. Už stojím před stromem a dotýkám se kmene. Cítím v dlaních hrubost kůry a na jiných místech zase jemnost. Dívám se do koruny stromu, která je tak hustá a členitá, že neprohlídnu skrz. Přesto při dalším zadívání rozlišuji jednotlivé větvičky, dívám se na ně. Co větev, to vzpomínka. Zvláštní. Slyším hru na kytaru, doprovázenou známým hlasem a zpěvem. Cítím, že kde teď zrovna přebývá, je v souladu se vší tou nekonečností vesmíru a nového života.
So many things seem to evolve around Derick. I knew Veronica's poetry long ago, but it's through Derick I actually got to know Veronica and to meet her. So Veronica's now going to read, is it one of your own and one of Derick's?
It is, but not necessarily in that order.
Not necessarily in that order.
Hi, I'm Veronica. I'm a professional writer and amateur mother. The card carrying depressive. Actually, the card I carry has nothing to do with depression, it's just my freedom pass. Anyway, I've chosen this poem of Derick's because I like the ending particularly, because I think it says something about how we sabotage ourselves. It's called Victim. I must confess I do not see. I do not catch this wild glimpse of nothing that spurs you on to stand between the pillars of your pain and push. I cannot see beyond the tooth and nail. I cannot see in this face the pain of a sufferer. Only the image of a victim in whose breast a blade, hot and twisting, rips one who would rather bleed thus than bear the pain of power. The second poem is one of my own, quite an old one, and it's written for somebody else who, like Derick, died too soon. It's my friend Kathy Kay, who died at 40 of breast cancer and left a daughter aged 22 months. Kathy and I had a lot in common. We both had older brothers with mental health problems. Our brother had died in a car crash, but nobody knew whether it was accidental or deliberate. My brother jumped out of the 5th floor window 40 years ago. So there was a rapport between us. Song for Kathy. Some say that death comes in his hour, the crown and crest of life. And some say death's a demon power, and some say death's a knife. But I say death's a hasty child that will not wait for time, but snatches young and bright and wild and beauty in her prime. And death's a vandal, death's a knave that smashes down the door, and none but only one can save my darlings from his claw.
Thank you, Veronica. Jeremy, come and cheer this up a bit.
So this song I'm going to do is a song by the Four Non-Blondes. It's What's Up, and I just like this song, and I haven't sang it for ages, and it's a song that some of the lyrics read about being 25 years of age, but I'm just a little bit shy of 25.
You're great on it.
I used to sing it a long time ago, 15 years ago, when I was 25, but I still like it, and so I just decided to sing it tonight. So.
25 years, now my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination. I realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made up of this brotherhood of man, or whatever that means. So I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed, just to get it all out once. In my head I'm feeling a little peculiar. So I wake in the morning and I step outside, and I take a deep breath and I get real high, and I scream to the top of my lungs of what's going on. And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I tried, oh my God, do I try? I try all the time in this institution. And I pray, oh my God, do I pray? I pray every day for evolution. And so I wake in the morning and I step outside, and I take a deep breath and I get real high, and I scream to the top of my lungs of what's going on. And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? 25 years now, my life is still trying to get up there, great big hill of hope for a destination.
A few years ago, Jeremy Hunt observed that the NHS should really be more like Tesco. Derick and Sally had a think about what that might mean, and then Sally is now going to present that with Loletta.
Congratulations, Raymond, on your new post.
Me Ray. Only my mum calls me Raymond.
Don't you see me as a mother figure weaning the hospital trust into independence?
Nope.
Okay. So, Raymond, did you work in the A&E department?
Nah. See what I mean? I think we can sort all of this stuff out. It wasn't quite the A&E. It's more like the car park. I was a taxi driver, cabbie, if you like, and I have some brilliant ideas. As I see it, we have two main problems. People.
Oh, staff and medication. I like that. I like the sound of that. I couldn't agree more. Yes.
Now, I've got some brilliant ideas of how we can reduce money.
Okay. Cuts. That's what I say. That's my motto. Except for self-harmers, where you've got to give them elastic bang. Yep. I like your money saving ideas, Raymond. I mean Ray.
First thing, all that training, that's got to go for a start. Okay. You know? What problem is, everybody's moaning. Moan, moan, moan. Hospital cuts, everything's moaning. Now, what we need is to bring back the cane. Bring back national service. That is what is needed for this country.
You've lost me. I don't. What's national service got to do with it? You've lost me.
Reduce the numbers anyway, won't it? As I see it, we've got two main problems with this. We've got all this political correctness. And I can't remember the next line.
Oh, well, you're going to tell me about Side right now, I'm sure. I can feel it coming. I thought you was.
All that training. Yeah. Me and my caddies, we've been looking up front.
Okay.
On Wikipedia.
Okay.
And let me tell you something.
Yes.
That Freud had some good ideas, but we can sort all it out. I can a diagnosis in less than 3 minutes.
3 minutes, really?
How are you feeling?
Fine.
You hesitated. You're thinking about sex.
No, I'm not.
Classic denial.
That's River in Egypt, isn't it?
Personality disorder. Take one of these. Not the red ones. They're for schizophrenics.
Tastes like Smarties.
They are Smarties.
But that's not effective psychiatric medication?
Nor's Prozac.
I'm listening.
But I have to warn you, there are some side effects. Mainly tooth decay and
Oh God, that's another department. That's dentistry, another department. Oh God, I love your money-saving ideas, Raymond. Ray, you're just so fantastic for this department. I'm so glad you're with us. Oh God, thank you.
The title of this evening is Ashes of Stars and Other Planets. Jenny is now going to lead us the poem of Derick's that gave us that title.
The ashes of stars. We dream strange dreams of who we are. Listen to the tales of our ancestors, but the truth is far stranger. We are all made of the ashes of dead stars. The debris of the universe has found the way into our atoms. The cosmological past is remembered in our bones. I feel this to be true instinct, and I shall follow the formula. But when your eyes are lifted up to mine, I know, in your eyes, the ashes are not dead, they're burning still.
we're nearly at the end of our programme.
No!
But we will have one more audience participation.
No, we wouldn't.
I want to just thank a number of people, starting with Carolyn, who's currently written the note. Carolyn, Jenny, thank you for not only reading the poems, organising rehearsals, being patient when I got things wrong, and generally great support. Jeremy, thank you for all the music, patience. Again, Tim, music, coming in at the last moment and helping me compare, brilliant. Veronica, it's been lovely to see you again, and particularly special because you also were one of the people who were with Derick playing here. And Susanna, who's come all the way from Lincolnshire. Bex, who's come from Cambridge. Matthew, really beautiful, moving poetry. Anna, who, it was very weird, we both had done training together, both stuck in a coffee shop. I was feeling a bit, because I'd missed a training, you were late for training, and I mentioned coming here and reading some poetry, and she took it on board.
Sweet.
Lenka, for your wonderful musical and music to poetry, and also thanks for Derick, who's a huge inspiration to us.
And of course, thank you to Sally for all the herding of cats that's taken.
Right, we're going to experiment. Now, you have three choices in this singing. You can sing like Jeremy Corbyn singing God Save the Queen. You can sing like Jeremy Corbyn singing the red flag. Or you can sing like David Cameron, who's just about to put his dick into. We are going to, this was written by Derick and myself 3 years ago, when we thought the government was cutting services to public, cutting disabilities, and we thought it couldn't get any worse. So the words, sadly, are still relevant today. It's in the theme of a traditional carol, Once in Royal. Join us for drinks at the bar. Okay.